Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to some F1 My Team. And yeah, last week did not go quite as planned. We ended up finishing, what was it, 20th and 19th and 20th. Myself, Beans Johnson, the most American you could find, finished 19th with our teammate Brad Benavides. Finishing 20th ahead of Logan Sargent and Max Verstappen, who DNF'd. So hopefully Jeddah is a little bit kinder to us. However, it's not looking likely. We do have a decent powertrain. We actually have one of the top on the grid, if not the top. So that's awesome. But we have little to no aerodynamics to help out when going through corners, and more importantly, trying to step on the gas to get out of the exit. So we should be able to qualify maybe a little bit better because of our powertrain and how powertrain heavy Jeddah is. But this is our activities for the week. We got G-Force training to improve our racecraft and focus. And then in R&D, I put in for this last episode, I believe, a chassis part. So I think we're going to add maybe a front wing part. I mean, our aero is quite literally the worst. Or maybe DRS. Ooh, no. That front downforce gives us a lot, and we're going to need it when we go to Japan. So we're definitely going to do that. Try to upgrade the aero along with the chassis. Hopefully neither of these fail on us, because if it does, or if they do, we are going to run into some serious issues. And I think, can we upgrade something else? Not quite. Yeah, no. So let's get into the race and qualifying, and I will see you there. All right, welcome to the beautiful Jeddah, I guess Corniche circuit is what it's called. I was about to call it International Circuit. As it looks like Benavides might be the first one out there. We'll take a look at what he does and how this car looks. Obviously, at Bahrain, the corners, you think of turn 10, turn 1, the quick S out of turn 1. Like, we just struggled everywhere. And I wouldn't be surprised if Brad, really struggled through this section, although that was not bad, but it just looks like he can't get the throttle down. So it's going to be really interesting to see what our flyer is. He sets a 35.3 through the first sector. Let's see what Lando sets. Lando with 34.0 compared to Brad's 35.3. Phew. Alright, let's get on out there. Show them that we got the best car, in reality. Now, these are the first laps that I've ever put down on this track. Obviously, before last video, 19, I'm afraid. I had already played and run through about 20 laps on Bahrain from the 2-player, as we'll let these cars go by us. For we will hop right out onto the track. That last turn is going to be really interesting to see when we can get the power down. First flyer at Jeddah in Q1. That wasn't horrible through there either. 34.2 for us. Way better than our teammates' time. Now we've got these two idiots to deal with. Verstappen blocking me low. Stroll up high. They finally back out of the way. If this was F1 23, they would not have done that. Just saying. Into the final turn. Oh, ran it a little bit wide on the exit. That's going to cost us a little bit. Somewhere to improve, though. We go 9th, 10th fastest. Stroll just beats us. That is much improved from last week at Bahrain. So this car can go here at Jeddah. We'll have to see where that puts us. I'm assuming we're going to have to make another lap here in Q1. But we can definitely come into the pits before we have to do that. Sorry, Leclerc. But we actually set the fastest Sector 2 time out of anyone. And by a good margin as well. As we come to the checkered flag for our second flyer, trying to push for Q2 for the first time this season. Oh, we run turn 1 a little wide. I might actually just shut this lap down now. We have the time, but we're going to have to actually really push here to get back to the line. We let Yuki go by. 5 seconds to the line. We've got a slipstream off of Yuki. Much better through the first turn. We're going to have the final say here.
Down into P15.
Sitting at right on the cusp as we send it a little bit wide through the fast S. We're right on the edge of Q2. I don't know if everyone's finished yet, so we've got to keep pushing. Now into the red. 4 tenths up. I think we've made it into Q2, but this lap is still going to count as a good one. We go fastest of everyone again in Sector 2. 8 tenths up on this lap. We are flying. And 4th. Granted, we did go on to new softs for that last flyer. But we go 4th quickest in Q1, and for the first time, Rossi Racing Incorporated and Beans Johnson are into Q2. And I think we might have a shot at Q3. Alright. So the best lap right now has been set by Max Verstappen. We have yet to take a lap because we have one set of soft tires left. So I was really wanting the track to warm up. Zhou Guan Yu actually made it into Q2 as well. So some cars that did not make it by quite a good margin last time make it in with us and that Kick Sauber of Zhou. We will now go out onto the track. It should be warmed up for us. It should be clean. Nice and rubbered in. Where can the used set get us? Barreling into turn 1. Ooh, lost it a little bit. Out of turn 2.
2 minutes remaining in the session. We need a good lap here or we're out of qualifying. Come on.
That was a little bit tight through there, but we did recover pretty well. Green first sector. Ooh, we push it a little wide and catch the wall. No damage done. Really trying to push on this U set. This is where we excelled by so much through Sector 2. Just a green this time. Not a whole lot of ERS to work with. Into the final corner. Last push to the line. It's not going to be great. But will it be enough? Not close. Actually, 12th might be the cutoff. We've got 49 seconds left here. Sonoda and Ocon directly behind us. Is 12th not the cutoff because we added 2 extra cars? That might be Q3 for us as it stands. Oh, and it's still top 10. We will start, though, 13th, much, much improved from last week at Bahrain, the season opener. Here in week 2, this car has some obvious pace with the powertrain, especially in Sector 2, and that's where we're going to be able to get a lot of these cars with overtakes, hopefully. What a great start to this weekend, though, making it into Q2. Can't be mad at that at all.
We're here today on the shores of the Red Sea in the Lower Hijaz Mountains to visit one of the newest circuits on the Formula One calendar. We're in Jeddah, home to what we all hope is going to be a thrilling Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So with Jeddah already being one of the newest circuits in Formula One, it seems that the drivers will now also have to figure out how to tackle it in these unusually wet conditions. Like many other street circuits, this is a very technical drive. Some of these corners are challenging enough in the dry, so it's going to be interesting to see just how the drivers fare in this weather. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Oscar Piastri, Leclerc, Sainz, Verstappen, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Hamilton, Stroll, Ricciardo, Gasly, the owner driver, Tsunoda, Ocon, Joe, Bottas, Albon, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Sargent, and Brad Benavides. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. And alongside me, a man, well, what more can I say? But he's a legend, Anthony Davidson. As we all know, every single driver wants to know what's required of them. And in the case of this driver, I think things are pretty stable at the moment. They're doing what the team require. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
18 laps around the Jeddah circuit. It's starting me on the dries. Am I able to see what everyone else is on? Are these actually the best tires right now? Because if it's not, it's just quite literally completely screwing me. Engineer? Please. Someone let me know. It says can't tell what everyone else is on. Do we gamble? It's not raining that hard. To be fair, if we're going to go on the softs, if my engineer has screwed me, that is unbelievable. Everyone else is on the dry tire. They're on the slicks. And it is a mix of a lot of different sets of tires here. A lot of different compounds.
Okay, so
I mean, just in the 5 drivers we can see soft, hard, medium.
And brakes up to temperature.
This formation lap's going to tell us a lot. Oh boy. I don't know. Did we pit on the formation lap? This feels very wet. Like too wet to be on the slicks. These tires are never going to get warm either. Like, I'm just slipping everywhere. We don't have grip. I'm gonna, dude, nah. This is definitely intermediate weather.
Sorry? No, don't do that. What good would that do? We can't do anything to the car and we have a race to get on with. Do not try to come in, just form up on the grid, okay?
Can I not? I can come in on the formation lap, can't I? I mean, this is just not slick weather. Look at the car, man. We are all going to go barreling in to turn number 1. It is going to be an absolute mess. I'm going to try to box. Like, if you want me to do this, I'm going to wreck. The tires are colder than somebody's nipples in the Antarctic. Yeah, people are coming in for the wets, I'm assuming, right? No? Everyone's going to line up. Oh, you're so kidding. So you can't come in during the formation lap. We've now learned that. This is going to be an absolute mess. We screw up the formation. 5 red lights and away we go. The car has no grip whatsoever. Down into turn number 1. Sonoda goes by us. It is beyond slow into turn 1. We'll take the outside back into the inside of Sonoda. When can we get the power down? When can we get this car slowed down? We go to the inside of Joe. This is an absolute mess here on the opening lap of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Everyone slipping and sliding everywhere. We can barely keep this thing on the track, man. Whose idea was it to be out on the slicks? Whoa, we almost lose it into Ocon. We go sliding way outside. We are back into 21st. We get turned by Hulkenberg. Coming back onto the track. This is utterly ridiculous. I am firing Mark.
Alright, not the start we were looking for, but it's not over yet. Stay focused.
Yeah, not the start we were looking for, man. Let me
Understood.
box.
Stopping this lap.
I mean, look at the time that we're losing right now. Obviously, the AI is much better in these conditions than we are. It'll be interesting to see if they stay on the slicks. Norris sets the fastest lap, so he's staying out, obviously. A 1:57, though. It looks like everyone is staying out. I am on a one-man strategy. Going on to the intermediates, but I cannot race like that. There is no grip whatsoever. I do not care what you say. And we can go the entire race on the intermediates, so maybe this is a good strategy anyways. Verstappen is out of the session again. 2 races, 2 DNFs for Max Verstappen.
That was
Wondering,
our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go.
I really wonder if he crashed. Right out of the pit lane, we can put the power down. Gonna have to take it slow because, again, whoa. No, it looks like it is a mechanical failure again for Max Verstappen. Very unfortunate for the Red Bull driver trying to go for a 3-peat in the Drivers' Championship. Not a great start to the year, as we really got to figure out these intermediates and get into a groove here. Norris sets a 1:53. We are flying right now. We set a purple second sector. The question is going to be, when do the AI switch to the wet tire? Very interesting calls here to open this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. I mean, we have already caught 5 seconds worth of time. Do the AI respond to us? I'm still struggling through this sector, trying to figure it out on these intermediates. But it is very clear and obvious that the slicks are not the correct tire to be on right now. I wish Mark would bring in our teammate Brad Benavides. He would actually be able to go somewhere. But I mean, in basically a lap, we have caught 10 seconds on Hulkenberg and Benavides. Lando runs a 1:52. It'll be interesting to see what we run this lap. considering we've still been slipping and sliding around everywhere, but we are just going so much faster. We're going to be in the 140s.
I don't think the line is really dry enough yet to start thinking about
145.4 compared to Lando's 152.5, I believe. The slicks are not the right tire right now. Into the last corner, we are now right with Benavides and Hulkenberg.
Great work. That's a new fastest lap of the race.
144 now, our lap time. As we get around our teammate Benavides, now hunting Hulkenberg.
Okay, I think the track's going to be drying out quite soon. Be careful you don't burn out your tyres.
So maybe that's why everyone stayed on the dry tires. I knew it. How is it gonna say it's supposed to rain the entire race and then pull some stupid shit like that? Who is our forecast man? Because now we're gonna be all over the track as everyone else's tires adjust again. An unbelievable turn of events in this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. The track is very, very dry now. We're going to have to box for a second time in 5 laps. Although we are still catching, even though the track is drying up, like Lando in Canada recently. Although the track looks dry in some areas, maybe still a bit better to be on the intermediates as we find our way to the back of Magnussen. As a caution is out in Sector 2, that could be huge if it's a safety car. And it's Perez, the second Red Bull driver to have serious struggle today. Turned around on that wide corner as we barrel into Magnussen. And we have to take the little exit out. And now do we gamble back to the softs? Oh, and Albon goes really wide up ahead of us. So maybe the track's still not that dry. We're gonna come in though now for the second time in 7 laps.
Okay, the scrub tyres should rubber in faster, allowing you to start the push sooner.
Other teams pitting now as well onto the hards. Hamilton and Sainz join us. Do not give me a new front wing, please. Come on. Oh, that pit stop is so slow, 5.9.
There seems to have been a problem attaching the left front wheel.
Oh my goodness, this race is just... We have the pace, but we're just not getting helped out by our team at all. You can see the track definitely still a little bit wet. Doesn't look like it. It does look dry. So we probably could have actually stayed out and made up a decent amount of time. We go onto the hards and hopefully we can find ourselves maybe in the mix of the midfield when this thing all turns back over, considering the time that we made up.
Right, that's Brad coming
Brad
in
is
for a stop now.
into the pits. as Perez sets the fastest lap now. Everybody into the pits. Where did we come out in all this mess? .9 seconds back of Magnussen. That's where we were. So the question is, if we went a lap longer, where would we have been? Hulkenberg into the pits. Now we passed him on track, so we keep that spot ahead of him. Can we track down anyone else? DRS now officially enabled as Lando Norris continues to set fast laps as we can't keep the car straight, and that's going to be a problem. I think the understeer might be getting to us now. Hulkenberg. We had 2 seconds on him, and now he is right on our cheeks. Try and back him off a little here, but understeer through turn 2. Hulkenberg side by side with us into a tight part of the track. We'll pinch him and keep 19th place for now. You can probably see it though now, between the tire wear and the wing being broken. That understeer is really coming to us now. Magnussen gonna have DRS through this section. We've been harvesting some ERS though. And with this powertrain, we are able to keep him at bay. But with another DRS section coming up, another 2 actually, it'll be hard to do the same thing. Here he comes, Magnussen to the Hulkenberg, sorry, to the outside. On and off of ERS, we still have the inside on him, but we're gonna send it way too deep with a broken wing. We smack into the wall, no damage done. Perez into the pits. As you can see the red blinking off of Hulkenberg, and it's gonna be tight. Perez is right there. We pinch Hulkenberg again, only down to 3rd gear that time. Usually you want to be in 2nd. Perez goes onto the softs here. Wonder if Lando was on the same sort of pit strategy, because I don't think he's pit yet. Hulkenberg pushing us through the straightaway. We've got to keep it tight, try to pinch him down to that corner. We have DRS this time.
Make a mistake.
Jump up to 7th a little bit quick. DRS and his ERS. DRS just barely prevails. Showing the true pace of this power engine right now. Holding him at bay even with this broken wing. Hulkenberg contact everywhere. I know we pinched him a little bit to the outside, but my goodness. He did not lay off at all. He cut the corner a little bit there. Probably not the most legal section right here. Hulkenberg's gonna finally be able to drive away from us here. Get up on the curb, just way too much understeer. We were never going to be able to hold him back the entire rest of the race, unfortunately. Although within DRS range, we're able to stay closer than I thought to Hulkenberg, showing the true pace of this car this weekend. Damn near no battery charge. And we are right back on the back end of that MoneyGram Haas, but we lose it coming out of the final turn. And I don't know how we're going to stay here within DRS range. I just don't see it as possible. In a similar position from a couple laps ago, right behind this Haas of Hulkenberg, the powertrain, and we really found a groove. We are going to fly by Hulkenberg into turn 1, but is this where we want to be coming into the final lap?
Good job, nice overtake.
I mean, that's with basically no front wing. We're doing that. Like, that just shows the true pace that we had this weekend. There was potential to possibly fight for the back end of some points, especially with the two Red Bulls crashing out and DNFing in the case of Max Verstappen. As Lando Norris starts the season 2 for 2, wins Bahrain, comes back this weekend and wins at Jeddah. As we continue our fight for 19th with Hulkenberg, what a moment that was. We have a lot of ERS to use here, but we can't use it all. Hulkenberg's gonna have a look to the inside. No. We'll back him up a little bit. Coming to the final couple of turns. Hulkenberg fell way back. The hard tires may be coming in to play as well as he's on the mediums. A great run out of the final turn. We will get 19th, but disappointed on what the weekend could have been for Rossi Racing. As for some reason now, we're behind Checo's car in the Red Bull, but an unfortunate weekend to say the least. If we started on intermediates, like my gut told me to do so,
outstanding performance today, and
there is a good chance we could have been fighting for some back-end points,
after an event
which
like
would have
that,
been
who knows what the
massive.
sport has in store for us
McLaren
next
goes
time out.
1-2,
Be sure to
followed
join
by
us once
Mercedes
again as we
3-4,
continue to
Alonso
bring
in
you
5th,
all the
Tsunoda
excitement
6th,
of Formula
Leclerc,
One.
Stroll, Sainz, and Ocon round out the top 10. We got disqualified? For what? What did we do? Alright, so we've been boned by the FIA, our engineer, our forecast crew. Just everything went against us this weekend, apparently. Unreal here in Jeddah. We do have a personnel department.
Thanks for handling
Let's increase his pace by 7. That is huge. We do have 1.29 mil. We'll set these really quickly. That seems like a pretty good timeline. Heading into the Australian Grand Prix, where I have been historically known to not be great at. And I think we're going to... we can't bring in any other developments. Outside of in the chassis we can. So maybe we'll bring this weight reduction upgrade in. 40% chance of failure. Maybe we'll wait on that. And upgrade our gearbox in durability as well. So we do have a lot of parts possibly coming in within the next 15 days. We got Australia on, I think it's like the 20-something. Here, let's just go click on one of these. We have Australia on the 22nd. So the only R&D upgrade that we could have going into that race will be our chassis weight reduction upgrade of the floor. But after that, we should get all those upgrades before the next race if they do not fail, which could be massive. Because we need a lot of chassis and aero upgrades right now, and it wouldn't hurt to get the durability up there as well. But we could upgrade something in here, but I don't think we will do so quite yet. I do think I want to bring this in 1.2 million for to reduce our failure chance That'll come in on the 15th. So hopefully that will mean that our aerodynamics upgrade comes in, because that would be massive after the Australian race to get that. So we'll see what happens. Thank you guys so much for watching, though, and if you did enjoy, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. You know, all of it's free, so I really appreciate it if you do it. Thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you in the next one for the Australian Grand Prix. Disappointing Jeddah, but it is what it is. Take it easy. Love y'all, and peace.